Hey guys, Kiko here for another Q&A, and let's go for the first question here from Wes Lester. First of all, subscribe to the channel, right? So, I forgot to say that. I don't get it why people watch the videos and they don't subscribe. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. I'm talking to my imaginary friends. Like this Finnish winter, not being on tour. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to me. But here we go. Wes Lester, I'm the same age as you. I'm really enjoying your videos. Thank you very much, Wes. But his question is, how does one submit questions for your Q&A videos? Oh, that's a very simple question. Just here, just write down below here in the comments area. But basically what I do, I just, go to those Q&A videos and I read the comments and select few questions, and then I start recording them, because I don't think about the answer, because I want to keep it like a normal interview. Back in the days, you used to do like interview for magazines or radio shows or TV shows, and you couldn't see the questions. It was just right there. It might be that my answer is not my best answer to the question, but at least it's faster and it's more natural. I would say so, and it's easier too. But yeah, so leave your questions here. I will pick some 4 or 5 questions, and I do a Q&A video. So keep sending the questions. Another one here from Erzan Kuneri. Should I use tabs when I cannot learn a fast solo with my ear, or should I keep trying instead? I think you should use the tabs. I don't see a problem to use tabs. Of course, depending on your work, the other musicians you're gonna play, you might need to write it, write notes, use the notation system. But for you to learn more complicated stuff, it's always easier to learn the numbers, to read the numbers, also because you have different places for the same note on a fretboard, so it's different than other instruments. So if you think learning how to read a score is a fundamental thing, I would take a dedicated time, per week to learn how to read notes. And then, I would start with a simple melody, and then I would go from there. At the same time, you're reading more complicated music because you're using the numbers, and the numbers are something that you're more familiar with, right? And then it really depends on what you want to be as a musician. In my case, I don't need to read music to play Megadeth or to do my own solo work. So I do read. Sometimes I want to read a melody from the real book, or I can follow a score or something. I can read. I'm not a great reader, but I can do it. Another thing, like I don't write like a just like a guide for me. Some musicians, they don't write the score, but they do learn how to write a proper guide for them to memorize a song, like writing, this is the intro and a few bars of verse and chorus, and the solo part was 16 bars of that or this, and then they create a chart to help them to memorize a song. I even don't like doing this. I just try to listen and play and memorize by heart, because in my work, I cannot go on stage and I'm sorry guys, I need to put my chart here, some papers, and I can look at it and then to follow, and I have to memorize. I have to memorize the songs, the parts, the solos, the whole thing. So right from the start, when I'm learning a new song, I don't write anything, because I just want to exercise my memorization. It works for me somehow. I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but I even don't write anything. I tried many times and it doesn't work, because I feel like I'm dependent on those papers, and then I cannot take those papers on stage with me. So, but I remember when I did my album Universo Inverso, that I was playing with the a pianist, Daniel, the drummer, everybody could read the score. So I wrote the melodies of the songs and the chords, and then I gave them the songs, and then they start playing the songs right away. So that was an amazing feeling, because it was a different style of music, it was a different level of musicians in this regard, and so writing the melodies, kind of like just the main melody and the chords was helpful just to make the rehearsals faster. And actually we did like 2 or 3 rehearsals to record the album, so because they could read, even Kiko, the drummer, was like reading the melodies to know the form of the song and the melodies, how it works, and all that. I always have those long questions for simple questions. No. So that was my long answer to a simple question. Another one here from Clayton John. Do you remember what you were listening to when you moved from pentatonic scales to the 3-note per string scale? I think like Paul Gilbert, Vinnie Moore, all those players, Malmsteen, Steve Vai, Satriani, those fast runs, and so the 3 notes per string thing. So when I started learning, my first lessons, the teacher Celso, I don't remember his last name, he would give me licks from Page, Hendrix, and Van Halen. That's it. Some licks, every lesson was, maybe 2, 3 licks from those players, like small licks. Also, he would give me, the like Robert Fripp's, like kind of a, like finger exercises. I remember like some Robert Fripp stuff. And then the shapes of the pentatonics first, and then the shapes of the scales, and shapes of the modes. And I didn't understand anything. I was like, why they have so many names, those weird names and then we're always playing the same notes. I didn't grasp the concept. It took me many years to understand, what are those modes and the feelings and the whole thing. That's for another conversation, but it took me a while to understand that. But I remember like seeing the instructional videos from Paul Gilbert, Vinnie Moore, and those guys when I was 15, 16. And they were using the 3 notes per string, and then listening to Racer X and those bands, fast runs, and then like the pentatonic. What's okay? So like this is not pentatonics, So so that's the answer. All right. So the last one here from Rodrigo G. Kiko, I've been struggling with tendonitis in my left forearm, wrist, for months. Can you give me any tips to keep improving in guitar, and also go into detail on how it was your healing process? He's trying everything, stretching, applying heat. He went to a doctor. So I think it's a very important subject. I'm not in a position that I can give any advice. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about it. I have my own experience, and my experience is go to a doctor. You can try different doctors. One thing I can tell you, and then I learned like a few years ago, and go to a sports doctor. I don't know if you can afford that. Maybe sometimes it's like more specialized, maybe more expensive. I don't know where you live, so I don't know. But maybe go to a sport, like high performance sport doctor. Mainly if you're a professional, because a doctor, I would say, and then if you're a doctor, if you're watching this, don't blame me, because that's my experience only. But a doctor would say, okay, take this, take this medicine and rest. Don't play for whatever, a month or 2, 3 months. But if you're a professional, you need to play next week. You need to play this Saturday. So a sports doctor is more aware of like how to deal with the problem because it's a sports doctor wants the player to go back to the field, right, to play, mainly if it's a professional athlete doctor, right? So I had the experience once. I was in Brazil with Megadeth doing a tour, and my tendonitis was horrible, and it happened we were in a hotel, and they happened to have I was during the Olympic Games. That was like 2016, I guess. I was in the hotel that several soccer teams were. The Mexican, team came, and then at the lobby, and the guys were like fans of Megadeth, and the guys came to ask for an autograph, a picture, and then I saw like the his lemonade, whatever, Olympic Games and the Mexico team, and the guy was like doctor or something like that, like I saw like, wow, are you a doctor? And then I saw like, I have this pain here, this problem here, and then the guy, oh, come to my room, and then we're talking. Then I met the guys in Mexico later. That was super cool. And then I remember they said, man, you have to go to a high performance athlete doctor, because they know how to heal your problem, but you need to keep playing, you need to keep doing what you have to do. Because I remember having a concert on that night, and I was suffering a lot with the tendonitis. The one that I went to LA and I did a PRP also was a sports doctor, and then mainly taking care of golfers and tennis players, because golfers and tennis players, they have the same problem, the tendonitis here and in the wrist. So it might be more expensive, and that's why those doctors they would take care of fancy sports like tennis and golf. Here's my tip, sports doctor. All right, so here we go. I think it's good, right? It's like a lot of questions, my long answers. Thanks a lot. Again, have a wonderful 2022, and see you in the next video. Bye.